the Grand Marquis and, well, all the Panther town cars and Crown Victorias, they're a great starting platform. Starting in 03, you got the better suspension, bigger brakes, you've got a great V8 engine and a solid transmission, good rear end. We just took all those pieces and found a way to make them work in a way that they weren't supposed to work. The weight's better, it handles good, stops good, it goes good, makes all the glorious noises, and does all the things that it probably should have never done in its life. So kind of making a new world for an old car. There's not hardly anything on the car that hasn't been touched in some manner or function. Even down to this power steering rack is still being used, but it's no longer power. We depowered it, made it so that it doesn't take as much effort to turn without the assist. Brakes are kind of stock, but that's about it. Everything else, frame was shortened by 20 inches. We used a Z notch to keep the steering geometry and keep the car low. It's got a full cage. The rear suspension is all custom fabricated. The steering column uses a Prius power steering column, which has the power assist. It takes 3 wires to hook up, and it gives you the full power assist to be able to turn these big wheels. The list of things we didn't touch would probably be pretty much shorter than the list of things we did touch. Pretty much, we started with a body that didn't have anything in it, and then a car that had all the things we did need, and then found a way to put it all together. It was a big deal. If you start with a smaller car with lighter chassis, and you want to go fast, you really kind of have to build up. We started with something that was already overbuilt. I mean, you think of all the taxis that are out there on the road that have been beaten on for 400,000 miles and still driving. We're never going to get to that with this. So we can do whatever we want to because we weigh half as much and we're not stressing the rest of the car. So even though the 4.6 2-valve may not be the world's biggest powerhouse, it has plenty of power because we're only about 2,000 pounds, halfway to what the car was. So everything is overbuilt to start with, so we don't have to worry about it. The suspension design, the short, long arm front end is great. It's kind of perfect for what you want. It's already got the big roll bars. We were a little concerned the steering is a little slow because it's a grandpa car. You know, grandpa's not going around cones really fast, so. But that ended up really not being an issue at all. Because of its weight and its shortness and its power, turning was just done. You didn't think about it. I know that our cross weights, what's kind of important for autocross especially, were within 0.2% of each other. So with the driver in the seat, they were spot on. I mean, you don't really get much closer than that. The front to rear, it's still a little front heavy because obviously there's a big cast iron block sitting up in front of you. But by moving everything between the wheels, it really kind of takes that pressure off each corner and puts everything more centrally located. And really, everything is, the floor is where the bottom of the oil pan is. So everything is set as low down as it can. The driver's seat is an inch off the floor. We're compact, low, everything's for handling where you would want it to be. We knew it would be good. I think we were all hoping for a top 10 finish. Being top spot was a little shock, and I think we're all still kind of coming off that high right now. You're never going to build that perfect build. There's always something you look back and go, we could have done that differently, or we could have done this differently. But for the amount of time that we had, and you know, we're all working, you know, other jobs. This obviously isn't our job. You know, we're just trying to squeeze in time when we can, families and, you know, other commitments. So trying to get together, you know, we're spread out 40 miles apart from each other, so getting time so everyone's together there, it was hard. So with what we had, I think we ended up with not the perfect build, but the right build for us this year. Is this Beth Hennig Panther chassis? Yeah, without a doubt. This is hands down the winner.
Support brands that support Grassroots Motorsports. Get your chemical solutions from CRC Industries. Visit crcindustries.com to learn more.